Rudradaman was not just another king of ancient India. He was a rising storm from the west. The grandson of Śaka, he inherited power, but what he did with it would shake the balance of the entire subcontinent. From his stronghold at Junagadh, Rudradaman began expanding his influence across western India, and soon his name started echoing across battlefields and royal courts alike. But this was no ordinary ruler. Hidden in a powerful inscription lies the story of a king who defeated mighty enemies, challenged the great Satavahana Empire, yet made decisions that still puzzle historians today. Why did he spare a defeated enemy? What made his rule different from others? And how did a foreign origin ruler become a symbol of Indian culture and power? This is just the beginning of Rudradaman's story. Because in the next part, we uncover the battles, the strategies, and the secrets that made him one of the most fascinating rulers of ancient India. Before we continue the story of Rudradaman, we need to understand who the Western satraps really were. They were Śakas, also known as Scythians, nomadic warrior tribes who originally came from Central Asia and gradually migrated into the Indian subcontinent due to constant conflicts and pressure from other tribes. But they did not remain mere invaders for long. Over time, they settled, adapted to Indian culture, and established powerful ruling dynasties. Among these were the earlier Mahākṣatrapa line and later the Kartamaka dynasty, to which Rudradaman belonged. Mahākṣatrapa dynasty was founded by Mahākṣatrapa, an early Śaka satrap of the Mahākṣatrapa line in western India. He consolidated Śaka power in Gujarat, known from coins. Mahākṣatrapa's son Nahapana was the greatest ruler of his dynasty in his inscriptions. He ruled a large realm around the Gulf of Cambay. Nahapana significantly expanded his territory into Maharashtra and was mentioned in the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, fought the Satavahanas, Gautamipitra, and was eventually defeated by Gautamiputra Satakarni. Śaka, 78 to 130 CE, founder of the Kartamaka dynasty. He reigned from Ujjain and expanded to Saurashtra at Satavahana expense. He appears as Mahākṣatrapa in later coins. Born into this powerful lineage, Rudradaman was the son of Jayadaman and the grandson of Śaka, inheriting not just a throne, but a legacy of expanding power. Around Śaka year 52, almost equals 130 CE, he either succeeded or co-ruled with his father, marking the beginning of his rise, and his reign continued until about Śaka year 72, almost equals 150 CE, giving him roughly 2 decades to shape history. However, his rule was not built from nothing. The foundations had already been laid by earlier rulers of both the Kaharta and Kartamaka lines. Yet Rudradaman was different. He was not content with simply maintaining power. He was preparing to expand it. And this is where the real story begins. How the Śaka ruler turned his inherited kingdom into a force that challenged some of the greatest powers of ancient India. Rudradaman's reign fell amid the Śaka Satavahana Kushan power struggle in early 2nd century CE. The western satraps, Śakas, held Gujarat and Malwa, while the Satavahanas, Andhras, ruled central and southern India, and the Kushan Empire dominated the northwest. The Śaka satraps originally served Indo-Parthian Pallava overlords, but by Rudradaman's time, they were effectively independent, even first-rate, rulers. War with Satavahanas. The clash between Rudradaman and the mighty Satavahana Empire was not just a war. It was a battle for supremacy over ancient India. At a time when the Satavahanas dominated the Deccan under powerful rulers like Gautamipitra Satakarni, they had already pushed back foreign powers and claimed vast territories. But soon, a new force rose from the west, Rudradaman. According to historical records and inscriptions, Rudradaman boldly claimed that he defeated the lord of Decipita not once, but twice in open and fair battle. This ruler is believed to be Vaiputra Satakarni, one of the prominent Satavahana kings. These were not small skirmishes. These were decisive, large-scale conflicts that shook the balance of power. But here's what makes this story truly extraordinary. Despite his victories, Rudradaman chose not to destroy the Satavahana king. Why would a conqueror spare his defeated enemy? The answer lies in politics and family ties. To strengthen relations, Rudradaman formed a matrimonial alliance, His daughter was married into the Satavahana royal family, possibly to future Satakarni himself or his successor. This was not just a marriage, it was a strategic move to turn rivalry into temporary peace. And yet, even after this alliance, tensions did not fully disappear. The struggle continued over key regions like Malwa, Gujarat, and Kathiawar. At least 2 major battles still took place where Rudradaman eventually gained the upper hand. Still, Rudradaman chose to spare Satakarni, not out of weakness, but because of kinship and political wisdom. His victories were so impactful that historians believe he weakened the Satavahana power significantly, pushing them out of important Western territories. But history always has another twist. Though defeated and pushed back, the Satavahanas were far from finished. They would rise again in the future and reclaim lost ground under strong rulers. Relations with Kushans. The Kushan Empire was ascendant in the north during this period, but there is no record of direct conflict. It is sometimes suggested the western satraps were Kushan vassals at first, but by Rudradaman's time, they acted autonomously. The Junagadh inscription records that Rudradaman destroyed the Yaudhayas for refusing tribute. Yaudhayas, a powerful warrior republic known for their bravery and resistance against foreign rulers. Unlike his conflicts with the Satavahana Empire, where diplomacy and marriage alliances played a role, his war with the Yaudhayas was purely a display of force. After consolidated control over regions such as Malwa, Gujarat, Kathiawar, Kachcha, Sindh, and Sovira, Rudradaman turned his attention toward these fierce republic warriors who posed a significant challenge to his authority. According to inscriptions and historical accounts, he inflicted a crushing defeat upon the Yaudhayas before 150 CE, demonstrating his ability to overpower even the most resilient military communities of the time. This victory was not just another conquest, but a major assertion of dominance, as it removed a strong center of resistance and secured his hold over northern and western regions. Unlike the Satavahanas, who were spared due to kinship ties, the Yaudhayas faced a full force of military power, highlighting Rudradaman's dual nature as both a strategic diplomat and a conqueror when necessary. After the Rudradaman death, Yaudhayas asserted independence, but later conquered by Kushans. But Rudradaman's campaign seems to have temporarily crushed them. At the height of his power, Rudradaman emerged as the most dominant ruler of Western India, transforming his kingdom into a vast and influential empire. Ruling from his capital at Junagadh near the Girnar Hills, his authority extended across key regions such as Gujarat, Malwa, Kathiawar, Kachcha, Sindh, and Sovira, giving him control over both inland territories and important coastal trade routes. His victories over powerful enemies like the Satavahana Empire and the crushing defeat of the Yaudhayas removed major obstacles and established a supremacy across western and parts of northern India. This expansion not only increased his political influence, but also brought immense wealth through trade, tribute, and natural resources, strengthening his treasury and administration. For a brief period, Rudradaman stood almost unchallenged in the region, combining military strength, strategic control of territories, and effective governance to maintain stability across his empire. This was the peak of his rule, a moment when a Śaka ruler of foreign origin rose to become one of the most powerful figures in ancient India. At the same time, although no detailed records of his army survive, it is believed that as a Śaka ruler, Rudradaman commanded a force composed of swift cavalry, skilled archers, and powerful war elephants, forming a highly effective military structure. What truly distinguished his rule, however, was the discipline he maintained over his troops, as his inscription emphasizes that cities and villages suffered no plunder, indicating that his army operated under strict control and avoided unnecessary destruction. This combination of military strength, efficient logistics, and administrative discipline highlights Rudradaman, not just as a conqueror, but as a ruler who understood the importance of order, organization, and responsibility in sustaining power. At the height of his rule, Rudradaman proved that his strength was not only in conquest, but also in effective administration. He continued the satrapal system established by his predecessors, ruler with the title of Mahākṣatrapa, which placed him at the top of a well-structured hierarchy. Under him served regional authorities known as Kshatrapas and Kshatrapatas, who governed different provinces and ensured the smooth functioning of the empire. This system allowed Rudradaman to maintain control over vast territories with efficiency and stability. Evidence from the Junagadh inscription highlights the role of provincial governors, such as Śaka, a Pallava officer who administered the region of Anarta, Saurashtra, showing that Rudradaman appointed capable individuals regardless of their origin. Another inscription from Kavada, Saki year 52, identifies him as the son of Jayadaman and grandson of Chashtana, reinforcing his royal lineage and central authority. Together, these details reveal a system where power was delegated but ultimately remained firmly in the hands of Rudradaman, enabling him to effectively manage his expanding empire. Rudradaman also shaped a social and moral order that projected him as a just and righteous king. His Junagadh inscription presents him as ruling for the sake of dharma, righteousness, and kirti fame, emphasizing his role as protector of cows and a patron of brahmanas, thereby aligning himself with the Brahmanical social order. This portrayal suggests that he sought legitimacy not only through power, but also through cultural and religious values. His claim that he ruled without oppressing people through heavy taxes or forced labor indicates a relatively stable and balanced governance. Even though no formal legal code from his reign survives, and much of what we understand comes from the idealized language of the inscription. Alongside this, his economic and political authority is also reflected in his coinage, as he issued standard silver drams typical of the Western satraps. These coins feature his left-facing bust on the obverse, accompanied by a corrupted Greek legend, Ovoniokno, a Hellenized version of his name, highlighting continued influence of Indo-Greek traditions. On the reverse, the coins displayed a three-arched chikya, a symbolic shrine or hill, along with river, moon, and sun symbols and inscriptions in Brahmi script, representing a blend of cultural influences and reinforcing his authority across diverse regions of his empire. Rudradaman's strength was also deeply rooted in his well-organized and prosperous economic system, which reflected both wealth and administrative balance. According to the Junagadh inscription, Rudradaman maintained a structured system of revenue collection that included Bali, tribute from subjects, Sulka, tolls and ferry duties on trade and goods, and Bhaga, the royal share of agricultural produce, typically 1/6. These sources ensured a steady flow of income into the state, while maintaining order across his vast territories. What makes his rule particularly notable, however, is his claim of fairness. He emphasized that even during major public works like the reconstruction of the Sudarshana Dam, he did not burden his people with excessive taxes, kara, forced labor, or other harsh exactions. The inscription even highlights that the people were not oppressed by taxes, suggesting an attempt to project a just and welfare-oriented kingship. Additionally, it mentions pranaya, a one-time levy likely used for public welfare, indicating flexibility in fiscal policy. This balanced approach allowed Rudradaman to maintain both prosperity and stability, as his treasury became famously overflowed with gold, silver, diamonds, and precious stones, largely due to abundant tribute and the rich mineral resources under his control. In particular, his command over the diamond and gemstone mines of Gujarat significantly enhanced his wealth, making his empire not only powerful but also economically vibrant. One of his greatest achievements was the restoration of the ancient Sudarshana Lake Dam in Kathiawar. The lake was earlier built by Pushya Gupta, Vaishya governor of Saurashtra region under the Mauryan Emperor Chandragupta Maurya, and during the Emperor Ashoka repaired, and added conduits to Sudarshana Lake by Teshasva, a Yavana Greek, governor appointed by the Emperor Ashoka. A massive storm had destroyed this vital structure, creating a huge breach. But instead of ignoring the crisis, Rudradaman acted decisively. According to his inscription, he rebuilt the dam 3 times stronger than before, even providing technical details like the size and depth of damage to highlight the scale of his achievement. This was not just construction, it was a transformation. The restored dam improved irrigation, boosted agriculture, and strengthened trade across Saurashtra. What made this project even more remarkable was his claim that it was completed without burdening the people with heavy taxes or forced labor, showing his desire to present himself as a just and people-friendly ruler. And with stability came prosperity. Rudradaman controlled key trade routes and ports along the Arabian Sea, turning his empire into an economic powerhouse. Regions under his rule became centers of commerce, connecting the west coast with the Deccan and central India. His treasury, as proudly described in inscriptions, was overflowed with gold, silver, and precious gems, a result of thriving trade and rich mineral resources. Important ports like Gaza, Cambay flourished during his time, reflecting the vibrant economic life of his empire. But Rudradaman's legacy was not limited to wealth and infrastructure. Backhand index pointing right, it extended into culture and knowledge. In a surprising move for a Śaka ruler, he became a great patron of Sanskrit and the arts. His Junagadh inscription itself stands as the first long royal inscription written in classical Sanskrit, marking a turning point in Indian literary tradition. Rudradaman is credited as the first ruler to use Sanskrit as a major court and official language. He was not just a patron, he was a scholar. The inscription proudly claims that he mastered grammar, music, poetry, and even martial sciences, and composed Sanskrit works himself. His court became a center of intellectual exchange. During his reign, the famous text Yavanajataka was translated from Greek into Sanskrit by Yavanesvara, blending Indo-Greek knowledge with Indian traditions. This shows that Rudradaman's empire was not isolated. It was a place where cultures met, ideas flowed, and knowledge evolved. Even in matters of religion and society, Rudradaman presented himself as a protector of tradition. Though of Śaka origin, his inscription emphasizes respect for Brahmins, cows, and the principles of Dharma, aligning himself with the established social and religious order of India. While no major temples are directly attributed to him, his policies and public works reflect a ruler committed to maintaining social balance and cultural continuity. Beyond warfare and administration, Rudradaman also strengthened his position through strategic marriage alliances, which played a crucial role in consolidating his power. Historical evidence suggests that he followed a deliberate policy of intermarriage with Indian royal families, particularly as a means to integrate the Śaka ruling class into broader Indian social and political framework. One of the most notable examples is his alliance with the Satavahana dynasty, where, after defeating their ruler, he chose diplomacy over destruction by giving his daughter in marriage, thereby transforming rivalry into a temporary political relationship. Additionally, records indicate that Rudradaman won the hands of several princesses in Swayamvara ceremonies, reflecting both his prestige and acceptance among established royal lineages. These alliances were not merely personal but strategic, helping to legitimize his rule and stabilize his empire. Through such policies, Rudradaman and the Kardamaka Śakas gradually became more integrated into Indian society, showing that his strength lay not only in military victories, but also in his ability to build lasting political connections. After reaching the height of power, the reign of Rudradaman eventually came to an end, though the exact details of his death are not clearly recorded in historical sources. Rudradaman died in 150 AD. What is known, however, is what followed, a gradual transition of power that reveals how his empire functioned. According to the information preserved in inscriptions and coin records, Rudradaman was succeeded by his son Damodari, who had already been associated with administration during his father's reign. This indicates that Rudradaman likely followed a system of governance where heirs were involved in ruling even before succession, ensuring continuity and stability. In fact, it appears to have been a common practice among the Western satraps that the Mahākṣatrapa would appoint his son or brother as a joint ruler with the title of a satrap, sometimes even granting them the authority to issue coins. This system helped maintain a clear line of succession and allowed historians to reconstruct the genealogy of the dynasty through numerous dated coins issued by both Mahākṣatrapas and Atrapas over more than 3 centuries. However, despite this structured succession, the empire built by Rudradaman did not retain the same level of strength after his death, as his successors gradually lost territories and the dominance he had established began to decline. The legacy of Rudradaman is a powerful blend of military achievement, cultural transformation, and administrative innovation that left a lasting imprint on ancient Indian history. As a Śaka ruler of foreign origin, his greatest success was not only in building a strong empire across Western India, but in integrating himself into the Indian political and cultural world. His military campaigns weakened major powers like the Satavahana Empire and crushed resistance from groups like the Yaudhayas, establishing him as one of the most dominant rulers of his time. Yet his legacy goes far beyond conquest. His Junagadh inscription, the first long royal record in classical Sanskrit, marked a turning point in Indian epigraphy and influenced future kings to adopt Sanskrit as a language of power and prestige. He also demonstrated advanced administrative and engineering capabilities through projects like the restoration of the Sudarshana Lake, which improved agriculture and economic stability, without burdening his subjects. Economically, his control over trade routes and mineral resources created immense wealth, while his disciplined governance ensured order and prosperity. Additionally, his policy of intermarriage with Indian royal families helped integrate the Śakas into Indian society, bridging cultural divides. However, historians view Rudradaman as a brilliant and influential ruler whose impact on culture, language, and regional power was significant, even if his political empire was ultimately short-lived.